Hello, hello. It's Jeremy Gryder, the e-commerce redneck. And today I have an incredible individual on, Joseph Anderson, the CEO of Connex e-commerce, which is a pretty cool tool. Joseph, why don't you tell us the high level? What is your tool about? What does it do? And tell us a little bit about it, if you will.
I'm the founder and CEO of Connex eCommerce. I've had the business since 2010. Automate workflows, ordering workflows between accounting systems like a Sage, QuickBooks, NetSuite, Acumatica, and selling channels like a Shopify, Amazon, Magento. We help companies process their orders, ship their orders, keep their inventory in sync. We work with a lot of B2B wholesalers, or a combination of B2C. We're similar to like a Celigo, Pipe 17, Zapier, kind of more sits somewhere around there.
All right. And with that, what kind of tech stack recommendations do you have as omni-channel brands grow with your tool?
Many of our companies use QuickBooks Enterprise as their accounting system, or they'll use our QuickBooks Online. The tech stack usually shipping a ShipStation, and they'll have a selling channel like a Shopify for their front end. We've been seeing more companies go to BigCommerce for their B2B sales. But typically, that's a high-level tech stack, if you would. QuickBooks, usually ShipStation, and a Shopify or BigCommerce for the front end take the orders.
Right. And so y'all do a lot of business, I would guess, on BigCommerce and Shopify, or no?
We do,
Which one
yes.
is
Most of
your-
our customers sell B2B or a combination of B2C. Some
Okay.
companies, I know BigCommerce is marketing themselves more towards enterprise, and so some of the bigger customers are going there. We have many companies that sell Shopify, and they'll sell wholesale on a separate site from their retail site.
Nice. And so what kind of revenue leaks do you see from these omni-channel brands that could be plugged with using Connex? How can Connex help with that situation?
I think that's a great question. One of the biggest revenue leaks is with missing orders. For example, if I sold a $100 product and it cost me $30 to buy, I don't want to pay taxes on a $100 sale. I want to play it on a $70 because my true profit was $70. If your accounting fails to sync properly, you're paying taxes on the $100. Taxes for businesses are at about 35%. So that's a pretty big difference. And if you multiply that by, 10,000 times $30 is a lot of money, times 30% of that. I think it's where a major source of the revenue is leaking, is a lack of proper bookkeeping.
Well, and with that said, tell me a little bit about the software itself a little more and how it works, that sort of.
Sure. It's more of an API hub, so it sits in the middle. If there are updates in QuickBooks, those are transferred to your selling channels or Acumatica or whatever you're using as an ERP accounting. If there's updates in your selling channels, those are moving over to your accounting system. If an order is updated, it moves over. It makes sure that everybody's playing as a team, that everybody knows what the other person is doing. We have a very powerful rules engine that allows customers to map fields. One of the biggest challenges with syncing any two systems is that data is often mismatched, products especially, and we have a system to fix those mismatches to make sure that you get accurate information on all sides. One of the biggest problems with accounting is that products are often mismatched, and when they're mismatched, the orders don't sync. If the orders don't sync, it means that you're paying more taxes than you should. And if it happens for several thousand orders, you're going to be out a lot of money, a lot more than it costs to buy Connex.
Right. And therein lies the solution. So
So one of my customers was selling on 5 channels. So she had Shopify, had a PayPal sale, she had TikTok. They were trying a bunch of different things, and we have an analytics tool. And we ran a report and we said, you have 350 products. Of the 350, one of them represents 90% of your revenue across one channel. I said, if you were to get rid of 4 of your 5 channels and get rid of 95% of what you sell, your business would still remain where it is. So we provide that kind of insight to companies. With regards to selling multi-channel, we make sure that the inventory stays accurate across channels, making sure that you don't, like if you sell on Shopify, it's not oversold on Walmart, to make sure that customers are not getting their orders canceled. The more orders you cancel on Amazon, you'll get a lower seller rating, which means you won't reach the buy box. So we make sure that we help companies stay in the buy box in Amazon and get more sales. That's how we help with multi-channel, by keeping the inventory in sync. Correct. We can measure the performance of certain channels. We can tell you how well a product sells on Walmart versus Amazon versus Shopify, and whether it's really profitable to maintain this. The biggest challenge I see with companies is they sell too many products across too many different channels when they try to need to figure out what's selling really well on what channels, like, and then just focus. We help companies focus on what's working. Our rules engine is now AI powered. You can go to the rules engine and say, I need to map the order number to this custom field. Can you tell me how to write the rule or mapping, and it will tell you what to do. So that's how we're using AI, is to teach you, what settings and what rules are best for your business. We have another
Does
our
that
analytics
adapt
tool.
as you grow and your needs change?
Yes, the rules engine can adapt as your needs change. I have companies that have over 250 rules. I had one company that transferred from ShipStation to ShipHero, and they're like, "Hey, now we're selling in 7 different channels, including Ace Hardware. We need to make sure the orders look a certain way in QuickBooks, or we can't send them out for fulfillment properly." So we're kind of the system that grows with you.
That QuickBooks thing is a stickler too for a lot of people with different systems too, having a proper connection. Because I know, for at least over 10 years, BigCommerce has had a QuickBooks connection, but being able to have something that maybe is a little more custom, like you said, for accounting and such, I think makes a lot more sense. And I'm sure it's that way, limited to some degree on Shopify as well. So having something you can get a little more into the connection with and customize sounds like an amazing product.
Yeah, I was on the phone with one of my customers yesterday, and we solved 7 different technical issues in an hour over the phone. I had my Visual Studio, my coding software open. I'm like, "Yep, let me fix all these issues for you." I asked her, I'm like, "Hey, are Ship Hero and SPS Commerce, are they getting a high-level developer on the phone to fix problems?" And they said no. And that's one thing that we're able to do at Connex is, hey, we can, have premium onboarding and support services to knock out these kinds of problems. I think with many connectors on the market, they're built for very basic small businesses, but as they start to grow, they need more customization. They have multiple systems they need to connect, and they kind of outgrow a lot of these smaller apps that are out of box.
What makes y'all more robust and that sort of thing as far as this type of system? What are kind of some of the major benefits with your platform compared to others?
Sure. We focus on accounting ERP integrations. We know that QuickBooks very well. We understand a lot of the errors, how the accounting system should be organized to make sure that your data is accurate and that you're reporting proper numbers for taxes and paying as little as you can in taxes. So we're a specialist. We have a rules engine that allows you to change how your fields map. This is really important if you're shipping orders, especially like to different vendors. Hey, the order has to look a certain way. We need a sales rep on here. We need an account number on here, or we can't ship it from Ace Hardware. So that's something we do extremely well for B2B sellers. And we offer premium onboarding and support. We do offer call our customers, have scheduled meetings to go over and solve their problems. We're not just be like, yeah, here's a chatbot, go figure it out. Sometimes if we have a support issue like with QuickBooks, I had a customer who's like, hey, my order numbers in QuickBooks are overlapping. What do I do? And I was able to go on to Perplexity and suggest a solution for her. It was one of the 8 issues I was able to solve very quickly. With her. So we've been using ChatGPT to quickly find answers to some problems and provide customers with help when other companies won't. And I think that's something that Connex does really well. Like, hey, we're having a Shopify problem, we're having a QuickBooks problem, we can't get support. Can you help me? And we've been able to step in and help out.
Well, and ChatGPT and other ones are very good at certain things. Like one thing that I realized, one of the big hairy problems in e-commerce is migrations. And you can literally export just about any product file, send it into ChatGPT, and then re-export it formatted in the new format. So doesn't always work, but it's cool to see that, some of these things work really well for using AI to figure those things out. And with a tool like yours, it sounds like that's an integral part of being able to do more with it, is being able to connect with those type of situations.
Yeah, I mean, here at Connex, we believe doing more with less. I built a software to protect people from the kind of work that burns them out, both physically and emotionally, so people can focus on selling their product and less on trying to manually enter things between 2 systems.
Right, right. Well, Joseph, it's been a great talk. Is there anything you want to leave our audiences with? Anything specifically you want them to know about Connex, and how can they get in touch with you? How can they find the product?
Sure. You can visit our site at Connex eCommerce, CONNEX, the word ecommerce.com, and click speak with an expert. And we'd be happy to help you discuss any workflows that you need automated. We're
Mhm.
definitely a good fit for companies using an existing workflow solution and they're having challenges with it. Most of our customers are either migrating to a new system, i.e., like QuickBooks to Acumatica or Shopify to BigCommerce. And at that point, with the migrations, their workflows break and they need to come in and sort of put everything together. The other type of customer we deal with is one that's growing exponentially. They're trying to 10x their sales. They're doing stuff by hand and they want to put it in automation. So really what we do is we ensure companies can operate, operationally smooth with a very large volume of sales, especially ones that require a lot of complex field mappings and thinking.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Joseph, for coming on. We really appreciate it. We will talk to you soon, and everybody go check out Connex, and we look forward to seeing more of y'all. Thanks.